Alright, just the person I wanted to see too. Come on in. Have a seat. Doing alright? Of course you are. You're above ground, you're still breathing, and you're about to watch another video from me, Screwface Capone, the gaming mobster. How awesome is that? Anyway, today, we're going to show some love to the Xbox One. Not that Xbox One. I mean, the OG Xbox One. Yep. So I don't think Microsoft's first console really gets a lot of credit. It had one of the most unique gaming libraries. I don't mean stuff like Halo, Ninja Gaiden, or Dead or Alive Ultimate, or Forza, or that stuff. Well, I don't just mean those. I mean is stuff like this. This is Dai Senryaku Tactics from Kimco. It's a little known title, but it's basically the Xbox equivalent to Advance Wars. You also had a bunch of mech games like Gun Griffin, and of course Mech Assault 1 and 2. And of course there's also Steam Battalion from Capcom with the big, huge $200 controller. Speaking of Capcom, this is Group S Challenge. I know you're sitting right there thinking, hey, what the hell is Capcom doing making a racing game? I thought they'd make the fighting games and the survival horrors and the shoot 'em ups and all that stuff. But yeah, I kind of get a kick out of when developers go out of their comfort zone. Also, yeah, NBA Inside Drive from Microsoft. Remember when console owners still publish their own sports games? Like, a lot of you younger folks out there might not remember when there was more than one NBA and NFL game each year. And this was before the days of 2K and all that. Look at that. Music by Master P. And of course you got Circus Maximus. I didn't say these are all good ones, just unique titles. And of course you got this. No Xbox gamer or PS2 gamer or GameCube owner, if that was your system, if you had one of those systems, you needed this title. By the way, EA, we definitely need a sequel or a remaster or something. Come on, show some Def Jam love. And of course, you also had weird stuff like Gun Valkyrie from Sega. A lot of you older heads might remember that Sega was one of the few Japanese companies that really took a chance on the Xbox. And even today, they still give them gems now and then. So, as much as Phil Spencer likes to talk about game preservation, and while much of the original Xbox catalog has been made backward compatible on Xbox One and Series X, thankfully, there are tons of games that are not backward compatible. Also, emulation isn't at the level where it needs to be for the system. So pretty much, your main option for playing these old games is having the original hardware. Of course, it's getting harder and harder to find these days. Anyway, a few years ago during the pandemic, I kind of got the bug for the retro itch. So bought myself a new Xbox from eBay, got a whole bunch of games. Then I moved to Tulsa for a little bit and started going to vintage stock, buying more retro games, just really expanding my collection. Now, of course, because I got a mod, because it's now the Xbox, the audio-visual connections, it was made right before the HD era was taken off. So it was still the red, white, and yellow connections. So when I wanted to play my Xbox, whether it was on my big HD TV or hook it up to my capture card, I had to use one of these bad boys, a AV to HDMI. This is a converter that you can buy off Amazon for cheap. Now, it works. It does the job. You plug the things in here, and then you can spit it out through the HDMI slot. But of course it needs a power source, which you can see from this part. Basically put in like a USB plug, and you can switch between 720 and 1080p. Now, while this does the job, it's not exactly perfect. And I'm going to show you some clips of games that are running on the some Xbox games that are actually running using this device. So like I said, my solution works, but they're kind of blurry and sometimes there's lag in the controllers. So a company called EON Gaming, they might have a solution. This is the XBHD. It's a plugin for the back of the Xbox, which allows you to basically hook it up to an HD TV. So this does what this thing does without extra steps and without needing any extra power. There's also a LAN port for LAN connection parties, and there's an audio HD port. So I remember, back in the days, before the days of Xbox Live, you know, a lot of people would bring together their Xboxes and hook them up to play these big 16 player matches of Halo. So you got this as a solution to bring it back. Now if you're familiar with the retro market, then EON Gaming is probably a name that you've probably seen before. They specialize in device. They're similar to like companies like 8BitDo and MyArcade, to where they specialize in like retro devices. So their previous releases are the Super 64 and the GameCube HD. So obviously they do the same thing that this does. Oh boy, where'd I go? So what we're gonna do is so I pre-ordered this like a few months ago, and it took a while to ship out. I ordered it from Castlemania, and of course, because this is a small shop, it took a while to get to me, but better late than never. Anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this bad boy up, we're gonna see what's inside it, and we're gonna run it on our Xbox to see if it's any good. Alright, I'm back. We're gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up. One thing I love is the box design. Again, I love these boxes where they make you want to keep the outside, even if you don't keep the thing in there. It looks like it's pretty easy to open up. There's this thing on the bottom, so we're gonna go ahead and cut this. Or maybe not. Okay, here we go. Just a little bit more in there. So that's open. We're gonna open this up. The party starts here, like always, like never before. Always, but never before. So here you got your operation manual, and here's the device itself. Gotta love the packaging. So yeah, this is where you would plug it into the back of your Xbox, and I use my tripod here, so it's a real hard time to get into frame, but there it is. It plugs into your Xbox, and there is the LAN party slot. If you flip it over, then you have like 2 additional HDMI ports and 3 LAN ports. And of course there's the HDMI port. So there's that on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in and see how it runs. Alright, so we're back in the lab. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. So there it is right there. Try to plug it in like this. And there it is right there. That's how it fits in. Kind of goes great with the design. It kind of sticks out a little bit, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to hook this back up, and we're going to see how this thing runs. All right, so I have the unit plugged into my computer. Now, one thing I've noticed is I have an internal Elgato capture card, or L, whatever they call it. When I tried to use it during the 4K software, it didn't pick up any signal. So I had to plug this into my AverMedia capture card. So that's what I'm running off of. Thankfully, the AverMedia works just fine. Now, as you can see, like, because I got something plugged into the LAN slot and trying to connect to Xbox Live, it's obviously impossible. But yeah, here we are. Now, if you're using this for the first time, then one thing you'll want to do is and this is what the manual recommends. You'll want to go into your video, and for 480p, click yes. 720p, click yes, and 1080i, leave that no. So that's what they recommend to get the best image quality. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and play some games. So this is the XBHD. So as you can see, there's a improvement when you use it with certain games. Definitely over the usual AV to HDMI converter. How much of an improvement and whether or not you're going to notice it, it's going to be depending on what game you're playing that it looks like. Also, you got the additional HDMI ports, the audio port, and the LAN ports. Again, I'm not able to test the LAN because I don't know a whole lot of people with Xboxes these days. But they will come in handy. And of course, there's the added bonus of not needing an extra power supply or not having to open up your Xbox. It's definitely going to help me cut back on wires here because I do a lot of recording with the Xbox and with other consoles. So being able to cut back on wires is a good thing. Now, of course, you got the elephant in the room, the $190 price tag. So it's ultimately going to be up to you whether the graphical upgrade along with the extra features justifies that $190 price tag. Personally, I would wait for it to go on sale or maybe use Affirm or PayPal to get some kind of financing off it so you're not dropping the whole thing on it at once. But that's just me though. Anyway, if you made it to this part of the video, then let me know what your favorite Xbox game is. And if you didn't have an Xbox, then let me know what your favorite PlayStation 2 or GameCube game was. Basically that console generation in general. So if you're new to the channel, I like to do tech unboxings and demos just like the one you just saw. I also like to cover indie titles. I like to do game previews, and I also like to do documentaries about retro games. So if that sounds good to you and you want to join the Mafia, then all you got to do is hit that big red subscribe button and I'll make you a made man. If you do want better, click the bell icon. You'll be the first to know whenever I drop new content. And I got a lot on the way, so you're not going to want to miss any of it. If you like this video, click that thumbs up icon and share it. Let your friends know about this device. If you want to see more of these cool toys, I got a whole playlist of them. It just popped up on your screen, so check that out. In the meantime, have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. And I'm Audi 51000G, y'all.